Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first video, hi, I'm Alaina, and this is The Organized Money, where we talk about planning your life, your work, and your money. In today's video, we are going to dive into how I am using my expense tracker in order to stay on my budget, on top of my budget throughout the course of the month. So I like to keep all of my expenses within the budget section of my planner. If you've never seen my planner before, this is it. It's an 8.5 by 11 disc bound planner. I do use the Franken planning system, which means that I have multiple planners all combined under this one planner. I have basically built out this planner to exactly how I want to use it. I recently switched the cover to this planner as well. Before, I was using the tool cover. If you've ever seen the tool cover, it looks something like this. It's a leather bound cover. I absolutely do love it. However, it is a bit more heavier to carry around because it's very sturdy, so it did make my planner a little bit more heavier than I liked. So what I decided to do is switch from the leather tool cover over to this Notiq cover. It is a croc black cover. As you can see, it has the gold Notiq at the very bottom here, and it is very, very light. So it makes my planner much lighter, which means that it's easier for me to carry around. Now this cover comes as an actual planner, so if you're interested in this particular cover or the planner that goes with it, make sure that you check out the description box. I do have a link there. So let's flip over to my home budget. And the very first thing that I have in my budget planner are my budget categories. So as you can see, this is a list of all of my budget categories, just so I can quickly remind myself what is listed under each category. And then at the top here, I have two tabs. One is for my home budget, and then the other one is for tracking my expenses. So let's start with my home budget. I will share with you how I have set this up and how I use my paycheck budget sheets. Whenever I'm planning my paycheck budget, the very first thing that I will do is add my income at the top. This lets me know how much I have to work with, and then I will break down my bills. Now my bills are my fixed expenses. These are things that don't change or I absolutely have to pay every single month. So they are fixed expenses like my mortgage, my utilities, life insurance, all of the things that I absolutely have to cover every single month is in this section under my bills section. However, I also have my variable expenses. So variable expenses are the expenses that I could possibly change or cut out of my budget. For me, these include food, entertainment, personal care, and shopping. Then over here, I have any money that I'm saving for sinking funds, and then any extra debt payments that I am doing. But this is the area that we're focusing in on today. So when it comes down to my bills, I will say exactly how much I am expecting to pay for a bill, and then I will easily write down the actual, because for the most part, these aren't going to change. Usually I can estimate to the penny how much my bills are going to be. But when it comes to my variable expenses, sometimes our food can fluctuate, or our personal things can fluctuate, or if I'm shopping or we decide to do something for fun, all of these can fluctuate. So I keep track of how much I'm spending in these areas on my expense tracker. So let me show you first how I keep track of these expenses and how I write them down on this tracker. The first thing that I will do is usually pull up my bank app. Now my credit card is attached to my bank app, so I am able to look at all of the transactions that I have spent on my credit card throughout the month. We like to use our credit card and pay it off at the end of every single week. So what I will do is keep the amount that is budgeted for my variable expenses in my bank account and use my credit card throughout the rest of the week, and then I will pay it off with the money that is set aside for variable expenses every single week. This lets me know that I am actually staying within my budget because I already have the money set aside for the credit card bill, and I am also able to rack up the points on my credit card and use it for travel. But every single morning I will come into my app on my credit card, and then I will look at the transactions and write them down. This helps me to be able to categorize every single transaction that's coming in, and I am able to easily see how much I have spent under each category. So after I have listed out all of my expenses, the next thing that I'm going to do is take some highlighters and highlight each one of the categories. I love to use the mild liners in order to do this, and I also have labeled each one of the colors to just kind of remind myself of what color I like to use for which category. So we have green that is associated with food, I have blue for entertainment, I have purple for shopping, and I also have yellow for my personal care. So I will take each one of these and then I will just highlight the category and the amount. So after I have highlighted all of the categories, the last step that I will do is add up each one of the highlighted items so that I can see how much I have currently spent. Now, if it's the end of the week, then I will highlight it, add it at the top, and add the total. But if I'm in the middle of the week, like I am right now, I will add it up and compare it to my actual budget to make sure that I am still within budget. So for instance, for food, we're just gonna add up where we are. So we are currently at $122.64. So I will compare it to what I have budgeted on here for food, and I have a food budget of $500, so I am still okay under this category. So hopefully you can see how easy I have made this on myself to where I can quickly add up every single day how much I am spending, and then I will do this for each category. So I'll compare food to food, I'll compare entertainment, personal care, and I don't have any shopping on here yet, but if I did any shopping, I would compare that. At the end of the week, I would just add everything up to make sure that I stayed within my budget. And another thing that I will do to make it easy on myself is sometimes I will add a line for my subtotals. So for instance, we just did food, and I know the subtotal for food is $122.64. I can add a line here, and then I would just write in food subtotal 122.64. So this lets me know that all of the food above this line is $122.64. And sometimes I won't do it all the way across like I did here. I'll put green for what the food was, and then yellow for personal and what that subtotal was, and blue here for what that subtotal was. And that's just so I don't have to keep adding everything that's on this sheet every single day. And what I will do at the end of the month is take all of my totals and add them in on my budget check-in. So my budget check-in will have all of my budget categories, how much I spent under each one of those categories, and if there is anything remaining there. That way I am ready to move it over to a brand new month. So guys, I hope that this video has helped you. I really enjoy this process. Keeping up with my expense tracker has been one of the top things that I have been doing on a consistent basis, and it really helps me stay on top of my budget. If you wanted to get your hands on this budget planner, I will leave it linked in the description box, and I will see you guys in my next video. Until then, keep organizing your life so that you can achieve your dreams. Bye guys.